Imagine a weapon so powerful, so invisible that it can cripple a nation without firing a single shot. No explosions, no missiles streaking across the sky, just silent economic shockwaves that can topple governments, empty supermarket shelves, and leave entire populations reeling. This is no science fiction scenario. It's the reality of modern geopolitics. Today's most dangerous weapon isn't nuclear, it's economic. Welcome to the world of sanctions and how they've become the new nuclear bomb. Let's break it down. I'm Shub, and you're tuned in to Shub Updates, where we take complex global events and make them simple. In the next few minutes, we'll unravel what sanctions actually are, why they wield such immense power, see real-world examples of their impact, and explore how they've forever changed the way wars are fought on the world stage. First, what exactly are sanctions? At their core, sanctions are punishments that one country or a group of countries imposes on another. But unlike traditional warfare, they don't involve soldiers, tanks, or bombs. Instead, they use financial and trade restrictions as their ammunition. Imagine waking up one day to find your country can't buy or sell anything internationally. No new technology, no foreign investment, your currency frozen overseas. That's the raw force of sanctions. It works like this. A nation or a coalition, like the United Nations or the European Union, decides to cut off trade, block financial transactions, or ban the export of key goods like oil or technology. They might freeze the assets of a country's leaders or major companies. Suddenly, international banks won't touch your money. Global businesses won't sell you vital equipment. Even medicines and food supplies can become scarce. No bombs fall, no cities burn, but the damage is real, and in many cases, just as devastating. Why have sanctions become so powerful? After the horrors of World War II, the world realized that outright military conflict, especially nuclear war, was too destructive to be a first choice. But global powers still needed a way to influence, punish, or control the actions of other countries. Enter sanctions, a tool that can crash stock markets, collapse economies, generate panic, and even cause governments to fall, all without a shot fired. The magic of sanctions is that they can cause enormous pain for a nation, while keeping the imposing country's own citizens safe from direct harm. There's no need to risk soldiers' lives or face the global backlash that comes with open warfare. Instead, the pressure is economic, psychological, and persistent. Let's see how this works in the real world. Take Iran. For years, the United States and its allies were deeply concerned about Iran's nuclear ambitions. Instead of launching airstrikes, they imposed severe sanctions. Iran's oil exports, the backbone of its economy, plummeted. Billions in overseas assets were frozen. Businesses left, prices soared, and ordinary Iranians struggled to find medicine and basic goods. The message was clear: change your behavior or your economy will suffocate. Now consider Russia. In 2022, when Russian troops moved into Ukraine, the West responded with an unprecedented wave of sanctions. Major Russian banks were cut off from the global financial system. Iconic Western brands like McDonald's shut their doors. The ruble's value tumbled. Russian planes couldn't fly to most destinations. In a matter of weeks, Russia was pushed into economic isolation, feeling pressure not just on the battlefield, but in every corner of daily life. Or look at North Korea, isolated for decades due to its nuclear and missile programs. North Korea faces some of the strictest sanctions on earth. No trade with most of the world, little access to technology or international finance. The result? Widespread poverty and hunger. North Korea's people are cut off from the rest of the world not by a physical wall, but by an economic barrier. These cases show how sanctions, wielded skillfully, can bring nations to their knees without a single bullet fired. But here's the twist. Sanctions are not a magic bullet. They come with real limitations. Sometimes they hit the wrong target. Instead of hurting powerful leaders, sanctions often hurt ordinary families first. Prices for food and medicine skyrocket. Jobs disappear. Hospitals run short of supplies. The rich and powerful often find ways around the restrictions, while the poor bear the brunt. And sanctions can sometimes backfire. When one group of countries imposes sanctions, the targeted nation may look for a new friends. For instance, as the West shut Russia out, Russia turned to China and other countries for new trade deals, building alternative economic alliances. Sanctions can push countries to innovate, become more self reliant, or even form new blocs that challenge the old world order. So, while sanctions are undeniably powerful, they are not perfect. They are a form of pressure, sometimes crushing, sometimes ineffective, and always complicated. Looking ahead, the future of warfare may not be dominated by guns, missiles, or nuclear bombs. Instead, the battles will be fought with currencies, technology embargoes, and trade restrictions. The world's most powerful nations are already preparing for this new era, where economic weapons can devastate societies just as surely as physical ones. A targeted currency collapse can erase decades of growth. A technology ban can halt an entire industry, and a trade blockade can starve a country of its future. That's why today, more than ever, we say sanctions are the new nuclear bomb. They are silent, invisible, and if used recklessly, just as destructive. If you learned something new today, let us know by hitting like. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Should countries rely on sanctions, or is diplomacy the better path? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that make global politics simple and clear, right here on Shubh Updates. Because understanding the world shouldn't be complicated, it should be empowering.